Hello everyone and welcome to English Composition 2, otherwise known as the second English composition class in a series of 2 composition classes that you are required to take at Lehman College. So I always say I want this video to be really brief, but this time I really am going to try to make it super brief. The instructions on every module and what you're required to do for every module is listed on our Blackboard page. So I don't want to really focus too much right now on content. I really want to focus on the way the course is organized. So again, this is English Composition 2. Our focus for this semester will be in talking about your writing process, and specifically working towards a project known as an autoethnography. You're going to learn about what an autoethnography entails, but for right now I want to say that it's sort of a blend between a traditional research paper and a personal narrative. And so another way to think about the autoethnography is it is an investigation in which a primary resource that you're using to investigate is yourself, whether that be looking at your past, looking at your writing, looking at the people around you, creating evidence using resources that you have. That's what an autoethnography will involve. And so you'll be completing 3 drafts of this autoethnography: a first draft, a second draft in which you'll share with a partner, and a final draft where you'll receive a final grade and not necessarily any feedback, because at that point the semester would be over. And again, that's all sort of described on our syllabus. This course is organized into 6 modules, and you can see sort of the breakdown of these 6 modules if you go to our Blackboard page. So just for those of you who are not familiar with Blackboard, the way that you access Blackboard, at least this is the way that I access it, is I go to Lehman's homepage, I click on Login, I find Blackboard, and then I log in, and then I'm directed to this page, and I click on our page, and this is what I see. So you'll see the first thing is announcements. This is where you'll be able to see any announcements for deadlines, announcements for maybe changes to the curriculum. I tend to do reminders so that if you're sort of overwhelmed with your other classes, you have the benefit of like a 24-hour reminder for a specific assignment. So announcements are really important for you to keep tabs on. If you go to course information and syllabus, you'll see a link to the syllabus. You'll also see the course outline for deadlines for the different things that are expected of you. And then in this block, I have what I think are the most important things of the course in terms of ensuring that you get a good grade, and that is a breakdown of all of the assignments required. And so, for example, you're required to post on discussion boards, so this is how you're graded. You're required to post on Google Docs, this is how you're graded in Google Docs. You're required to post on YouTube. I give you a little bit of information about how that will be graded, and then the 3 different drafts of your autoethnography. Then when you click on discussion board, you'll see sort of all of the prompts that you're required to complete for the semester. You'll see that each forum contains about 4 prompts. I'm asking that you choose 1 prompt. There tends to be like one person who gets confused about this, so I'm going to start early and reiterate, you're only required to respond to 1 prompt per forum. So for writing in place, respond to 1 of these prompts. For writing in people, respond to 1 of these prompts, not all. Okay. And then if you go to my grades, this is where you would be able to keep tabs on your grade. I highly recommend that you click onto this page daily. Last semester, I had a couple of students who didn't realize that they were failing the course because they had no idea that things were being graded because they weren't really checking into Blackboard, but they specifically weren't checking into this page. So this is really important. And then we have a Getting Started page. Getting Started is sort of like module 0. It's not necessarily counting towards your overall grade, though it does count somewhat, but the usefulness of this module is to get you comfortable with the course and also to get us to know one another. So you'll see for the Getting Started, I'm asking that you watch this video that I'm recording right now, that you review the Blackboard page, that you print out a copy of our syllabus, that you read a essay, that you look over a course blog to see other students from previous semesters, what they did for their autoethnography. I'm asking that you post a writer's manifesto in the discussion forum. I'm asking that you upload a picture of yourself in the Who We Are discussion forum, and that you complete a survey. So you'll see that the way that every module is sort of broken down is I give you all the tasks, and then what follows are sort of the links to complete all of the tasks. So here's the syllabus to print out, here's the link to the video, here's the essay, here's the course blog link, here's a link to the discussion forum for the manifesto, here's a link to the discussion forum for the picture, here's a link to the survey. And the same thing sort of follows for every module. So this is the Getting Started module. Like I said before, it's really for you to get comfortable and for us to get to know each other. Then the first module starts September 6th. So as you can see, I've given us what I hope is enough time to acclimate to this online course. The semester really starts August 27th, August 28th, and you have until September 5th really to complete all these tasks. And I really urge you to take these tasks seriously and to do them wholeheartedly, because should questions or concerns arise, this would be when I can have ample amount of time to sort of walk you through any difficulties. Okay, so then September 6th, we start with module number 1, and you'll see again the tasks and then links so that you can complete these tasks. Just a little bit more information about the kind of work that you're doing. You'll be reading, so every module you'll be reading essays. Most of them will be nonfiction. Then you'll be watching a YouTube lecture. Most of these YouTube lectures I've created, and so they're on my personal YouTube page. So commenting on my videos hopefully will not be a problem for any of you concerned with privacy, because these videos are all on my personal page. It will involve also then going to a Google Doc, so you'll just click on the link and you'll see something that looks like this. I have some questions. You don't have to answer all of the questions, but if you read these instructions, I am interested in seeing that you understand the writing concepts mentioned in whatever module we're in. So for example, in module number 1, we're talking about the autoethnography and paragraphs. So I would like to see in your responses in the Google Doc that you are familiar with paragraphs, that you're showing you understand what an autoethnography involves. And then in addition, you'll be posting, as I said earlier, in a discussion forum. And these discussion forum posts are really a space for you to start thinking about your autoethnography. So, for example, this first discussion board, you're thinking about place. And so one thing you might do is you might visit the space your writing project will focus on or take place in, take pictures of this space, describe the space in detail, try to use all 5 senses. And so it ultimately is supposed to help you in creating your autoethnography. I would say that what it can also do is become sort of the material that you'll use in your autoethnography. Another thing that I want to point out is these discussion board posts have a word limit. And if you go to assignments, you'll see that here. Each post must be 500 words and proofread for clarity. A lot of times last semester folks sort of didn't remember this, and this is one of the ways in which I'm grading you: adherence to the prompt. So if it's not 500 words, you wouldn't get full credit. So that's something to be mindful of. Okay, so I covered that. Just in terms of, for those of you who are unfamiliar, when you want to watch the YouTube video, you can click on this. You can watch it here, but I recommend clicking on the video again so that you can go to the actual YouTube page. And then the way that you would comment is you would add a comment like so. And if you have a Gmail account, you would sign in, and that's how you would comment. If you don't, I believe you're going to have to make one. I don't know necessarily that YouTube has a guest option, but I recommend that you have a Gmail account anyway, so that really shouldn't be an issue. However, if you're, super opposed to having a Gmail account for like some ideological reason, then maybe you want to email me and we can see what alternatives we can figure out. Okay, so that's clear, hopefully, to everyone. And again, 6 modules. So the first module is about autoethnography and paragraphs. Second module is about thesis statements. It's the same setup though, where you're doing readings. You have the YouTube video, Google Doc, and discussion forum post. The only sort of change that happens comes in module 6, which is the final module, which at this point feels so far away, but believe me, it will come faster than you think. For this final module, you're going to be watching one or all of these YouTube videos. They're very short, no more than like 6 minutes, and you're going to be posting a revision of 3 sentences from your autoethnography in this Google Doc. And in addition, you're going to make it a point to meet with me either virtually or in person, where we'll talk about your autoethnography, and then you'll be submitting your final draft. So this final module, in many ways, there are less like actual tasks that you're doing, but it's going to be, I think, the most it's going to be the most thoughtful module, because you're really going to be working on revising that final draft of your autoethnography. Okay, so that covers how this course is structured. I just want to now take you to something that you might have already noticed, these things called reflection assessment. So you'll see that there are a total of 4 reflection assessments. Now these are, this is new. I'm trying this out this semester to see how it goes. These are very short surveys that I'm asking that you complete. They are time sensitive, so if you don't complete it before or if you don't complete it by the deadline, you're not going to be able to complete it afterwards. And though they're not being graded, they are being marked for completion or no completion. If you complete these reflections, it will only boost your grade. And so what I'm trying to see, I hope this works, is last semester I had quite a few students who sort of struggled with submitting things on time, following directions, and so their grade sort of was impacted by that. And a lot of times they wanted to do extra credit, and I just don't find extra credit useful if it's just a way for you to get points. Like, I want extra credit to actually be thoughtful and useful for both you and for me. And so this is my way of creating something that can be extra credit, but that's also not wasteful in terms of time. So these surveys, if you complete them, they take 15 minutes. I'm asking you questions that sort of gauge your understanding of the concepts, and then also give you a time to reflect on maybe struggles that you've had in completing the module, so that if there are struggles that you're listing that I know I can be helpful with, I can reach out to you directly. And so again, these module reflections aren't required. However, if at the end of the semester I see that you've completed none of these assessments and you ask me about extra credit, please don't be bummed out or upset if my answer is there is no extra credit, because for me, these assessments were an opportunity for extra credit. All right, so that covers that. I want to just make sure I covered everything. Yeah, so we understand you. Oh, Google Docs. When you click on the Google Docs and you respond to any of these questions or to several of these questions, you have the option of posting your comments here, like so. Just make sure you put your name at the end, but you can also respond by highlighting a question and clicking insert comment, and something like this will come up. You'll be anonymous unless you have a Gmail account. So if you're anonymous, then please just sign your name at the end of your comment, because that's the only way that I'll be able to give you a grade. All right, and with that, I'm looking forward to getting to know you all, and I am looking forward to having a successful semester.